A stitch in time saves nine. I have a huge hole in the heel of my sock. What a bummer. I really like the socks. They're warm and cozy wool. They've been great for keeping my tootsies warm this winter, so when my spouse pointed out that I have a hole, I was disappointed. We live in a world of disposable everything. We buy cheap clothes off the rack, and when we're tired of them or when they're no longer in style, we toss them out or send them to Goodwill. We lease cars, then turn them back into the dealers so we can get a new car to lease. We allow our furniture to get stains or glassware rings. Then, when it looks awful, we dump them at Goodwill and we buy new stuff. We even allow our health to deteriorate. And when we realize we haven't moved for 2 years and our waistline no longer fits into our jeans, well, we can't turn our shape of our tushy into Goodwill. We either have to take care of our bodies or we have to live with the consequences of our inattention. When I was a kid, my mom was full of proverbs. A stitch in time saves nine was only one of many pithy answers she had when she didn't want to fully explain her thoughts. When I was a kid, it was confusing. I had no idea what she was talking about. Now, though, I see that the proverbs she relied on had actually a lot of truth. The proverb I most identify with is "a stitch in time saves nine." According to the World Wide Web, Thomas Fuller is responsible for this proverb and many others. He wrote, "The mob has many heads but no brains." I love this saying because so often we see it's absolutely true. I feel this proverb can be extended to include the Oscar Wilde quote that everything popular is wrong. When we jump on the bandwagon, we often leave our good sense behind, but that's a podcast for another day. Today, we're looking at why it's important to maintain our belongings versus scrapping them for new items. My car is a 2002 Honda. It has 85,000 miles on it. I purchased it a few years back when it had about 40,000 miles. It's over 20 years old. The previous owner had good records and took the car into the shop for regular maintenance. I take my car into the shop for regular maintenance. If I continue to drive at the rate I do, which is under 5,000 miles a year, my car should last until I die, but only if I continue to take good care of it. What's the big deal about taking care of my super old car? I don't want to spend 20 or 30 or more thousands of dollars on a replacement vehicle. That's why I'm taking good care of my car. I don't even like driving. Some people love to drive and see a new car as a status symbol. I don't. I see my car as a useful tool to get me to the grocery store or out to visit my grandkids. Nothing more, nothing less. If it's not so important to me, why then do I want to take care of it? Because I'm frugal. The same is true for everything I own. If I take a moment to stitch the hole in the heel of my sock, I won't have to replace it. If I'm careful when I wash my clothes by using the manufacturer guidelines, sorting my items by color and fabric, they'll last longer. No, I'm not fashionable. I don't care. I'd rather have a flush bank account than have the latest trend. For some, money isn't an issue and they can replace their items on a regular basis. Good for them. I, too, would love to be Beyoncé, but I'm not. I'm a regular person who wants to have a nice nest egg so I can pursue a life that has meaning to me. Other ways I save money with a stitch in time is by keeping my health in check. It's harder these days as I age and with a few chronic health conditions, but I can say that I'm doing well and expect to live to a relatively healthy old age. I go to the dentist regularly and my checkups are always fantastic because I take time to care for my dental health. Focusing a few minutes each day on caring for my possessions and my health is a pain sometimes, but it's not as big a pain as trying to replace a well-loved item. I don't want to buy a new pair of cozy wool socks. I like the pair I have. I definitely never want to buy another car. I'll take care of the car that I already own. What can you do to ensure you're keeping up with a regularly scheduled maintenance of yourself and your possessions? First, identify big expense items that require care. Obviously, you shouldn't stress too much over socks until you're sure you've covered things that will truly set you back. How's your health? As Stephen Adler said, you can have all the riches and success in the world, but if you don't have your health, you have nothing. I know from my own experience this is true. Back in 2005, I became very ill with rheumatoid arthritis. It took over a year to get diagnosed and on medication that was helpful. I can assure you it was, without question, the worst year of my life. The pain was intense, and I couldn't do regular tasks easily. To give you an idea, even getting off the toilet was an exercise in pain and trauma. Life was super hard then, but after a diagnosis and medication, I was able to get back on track, and these days, while I do have occasions when I struggle, overall I'm doing quite well, and compared to others in my age bracket, I think I'm doing very well. I can hike several miles, I work out most days during the week, and although I'm a bit pudgy, my weight has been mostly stable for the past 2 decades. I can wear outfits from 20 years ago and they fit fine. How's your home? Are you doing everything you need to do to keep your home in good running order? Do you need to have your chimney swept? Do you need to clean out your dryer vents? Do you have old leaky pipes or is your heating system on its last leg? Do you need new efficient appliances or windows? Do you have rotting boards on your deck or fence? Replace them before the rot spreads. How about your car? Go to the shop when the manufacturer suggests for oil changes and fluid changes. Make sure your running lights, brakes, windshield wipers, and other items are in good working order. This will save you money over the time you own your car and will help keep the resale value up should you decide to sell it. Make a list. Start with the high-priced items like your home or your car, then work your way towards your health. Later, add on your wardrobe, tools, and other items that need care. Once you have your list of items, begin tracking them one at a time to get them in tip-top shape and schedule them for maintenance on your calendar so you know when it's time to double-check that care is in order. Once you have your schedule set, act on it. It's truly an awful feeling to toss an item because you failed to act when you should have to repair or maintain it. Just take the needed steps to avoid the annoyance and the expense. You'll be happy you did. I have a free book. You can download it by visiting my website. The link is in the show notes. It's titled Few Buck Lunch: Cook Food, Save Money. Next time on Page Power, we'll review my new book, Few back lunch.